What is up, YouTube? We are back. Hope you enjoyed the last video of the 20k challenge. If you haven't checked it out, go check out the previous video. And if you haven't already, what are you doing? Like, comment, and subscribe for more. We are back to the junior stage episodes, and we are about to hit a push-pull session. Obviously, what you're about to see is, because I'm going to film that just now, but I also filmed yesterday's arms and delt session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play over that. I'm going to do a little bit of a voiceover talking through the session, and then we'll jump back to the push-pull session today, and then we're just going to vlog for the rest. Kind of keep it simple, keep it going, show you some meals, show what we get up to. I'm working today at my gym, covering it on the weekends. It's Saturday, currently the 7th. And it is 5:32 AM, early morning workout. We're about to get this, we're about to kill it. Enjoy yesterday's arm delt session, straight into today's push-pull session. And we'll catch you all once it's done. Welcome everyone to the voiceover of my arm and delt day. So what we're gonna do, or what we're looking at start with, is I'm starting with a superset of a cross cable tricep extension, holding onto the cuffs. Primarily start off with that exercise. Why? Because we can get that tricep fatigued in the shortened range when we are the freshest, because that is where we'll be fatiguing first and generate the least amount of force. So we start with the shortened range. So we just kind of emphasize that shortened range. You can see my body position, rib cage stacked over pelvis, nice brace through the core, controlling it, just flexing through the elbow, nothing much to it. And man, you just get a filthy pump off this exercise. It's just so good. When you're working on that shortened range, you get a lot of blood flow. Like I said, the muscles fully compressed, fully shortened fibers. Just feels damn good. This feels really, really good. So we start off with that, and then we superset into a high bicep cable curl. So the dynamic's going to be kind of tricep, bicep superset here. I find nothing takes away from each other, and I quite enjoy that dynamic of having a tricep with a bicep. So once again, now we work with the short range of the bicep. How we do that? We need some shoulder flexion here. So we're going to do the high cable bicep curl. Shoulder flexion, elbow flexion, that is a fully shortened bicep. This is too much, so high, this is plenty, flexion through both ranges. So that is what we're doing. And also when we get arm training, we can have a secondary functional element of the training. So the function of the bicep is to stabilize the shoulder, because it actually runs through and joins onto the scap, and actually makes part of your labrum in the shoulder. So training in that kind of abducted position, externally rotated, we're creating that kind of exposure in an unstable position, so we can train it in that unstable position. Two birds, one stone. And once again, absolutely filthy pump. So one thing you'll notice with these movements is you can see that I'm actually pausing for about 2 seconds in the contraction as well. So that's the shortened range of masters. Now we've got mid-range to lengthen range to focus on. So this time now we go to the bigger movement. So for me, I'm going for a very light banded reverse banded Smith JM press. Just started this movement up just towards the end of the last year, and I freaking love it. Tries toasted, feels really good. And with it being on a Smith as well, I allow my wrist to kind of just move, and my elbows go into whichever plane they need to, and it's just damn good. It just feels really good. I feel really strong with it. The band is there in place to take a little bit of tension off at the bottom, because I'm trying to take a little bit of load off in that lengthened range, to kind of even it lift, because as my joints stack, as my joints come over top of each other, that is when we're getting stronger. It's just a stacked position is a stronger position, and because the weight's just moving up and down, not converging in any way, shape or form, it's a constant weight. So that just is too easy here. So I'm basically trying to just emulate that at the bottom range as well, by taking that load off at the bottom. So we do that, and then we go into a superset, and then we go into a single arm dumbbell preacher curl. Probably one of my favorite bicep exercises to do. I just connect so well with it. Single arm allows me to line up 3 joints, shoulder, elbow and wrist. Get those muscle fibers in line with gravity, in line with the dumbbell, where they're pulling, where they're dropping from, and we're just got a fully efficient trained bicep. So it's going to be working and biasing more of that mid-range of the bicep into sort of a shoulder flex position, so it's still kind of hitting the shortened range ever so slightly, but I add a little micro pause in that bottom position just for that control. I enjoy adding pauses into these movements. So nailing the preacher curl here, guys. My arms have never felt so good in terms of progress. This is my arm and delt day. Gave it my own day because tagging on arms at the end of a session, you just can't give it as much as when you're fresh and you're feeling good. And that is what we need to be doing, and that is why I've allocated more volume for my arms on a specific day to allow me to just annihilate them. And I'm getting the results. My arms are growing, they feel good, they feel fantastic, and my joints feel good for it because I'm also training that functional element of the arms, which creates good shoulder health. And my shoulders getting a beating with pressing and pulling so much, I need to keep on top of that kind of health of the joints. So that's the preacher crawl kind of rocking with there. Very happy with the movement. As always, training to failure, and being smart at the same time with that. So these rep ranges I'm working at here differ. The shortened range exercises, the first two exercises I was working more kind of a 12, 15 to 20 rep range. The second bunch of supersets I was working more like kind of 6 to 10, 12 rep range, because I'm much more of a, well, I've got a compound JM press here. This is my back offset. You can see the weight is reduced. You can see the path which my elbows are traveling in. Just feels comfortable for me and my shoulder in my positions. I allow myself to kind of internally rotate a little bit as well in that position, so that's how my elbows flare out like that. But like I say, because the force is going up and down, it aligns well with the tricep as I fully extend to the top. And you can see the band comes off at the top anyway. The band's off there, so I get a fair amount of chunk. The band's not really helping that much for this. So be smart when you're training with the bands. Don't just chuck on a band because you see it. There's an element of thought process there to why we implement bands for certain movements. It's just purely to balance out the resistance profile and match it with the strength profile of the muscle, and that's just being efficient with your time. So here's just a close-up view of the biceps. I mean, come on. You can see it. Oh yeah, it looks good. Like I say, arm training has been really fucking good. Excuse the language. I've been absolutely nailing this session, and I actually get quite good recovery out of this session. Arms are not demanding, they're not systemically fatiguing, they do not drain me into my next sessions, and I actually have a rest day after this day. So I know I train here, but it's almost like an active rest day, in all honesty. It's like an active rest day. It's my last session of the week, and it does not tax me whatsoever. And it just feels good. And like I said, the additional volume is just giving me all those benefits. So, like I say, really enjoying the setup, the split, and how it's working with this. And like just the control. See the control at the bottom as I descend the eccentrics. You know, I'm not rushing. You've got to control all the ranges of movement. We've got the lifting portion, the change of direction from lifting to the descent. We've got the descending portion, or the eccentric, and we've got the change of direction from the eccentric back up to the lifting portion. Control all those parts. And like I say, based on the strength profile of the muscle, I will strategically implement some sort of tempo change sometimes, depending on which range of the muscle we're working in that anatomical length. So, after that superset, we've now done shortened, mid, lengthened, tad. Now we work the lengthened ranges. And then after that, we've done the muscle. What's more than short, mid, and lengthened? Nothing. This is what we need to do. This is what we call efficient training, smart training. And one of my all-time new time, because I just started it actually at the end of the last year as well, is the seated long rope overhead tricep extension. It allows me the freedom of my triceps to move how they want to. There's no joint issues there. Like it's moving in the planes that it wants to naturally, and I get to be supported with a bench. I don't use my core and waste energy elsewhere. I'm stabilized, I feel good, and I just add that pause and that length and stretch range. And like I say, in an overhead position, we've lengthened the tricep. Shortened range, arm by our side, because we know the tricep attaches onto the scap. Lengthened range, well, if I just move that away from the scap overhead, that's getting a fully lengthened stretch there. Then I just have to create elbow extension. That elbow extension is created, and that elbow extension is going to create that shortened tricep. So when I have elbow flexion in that position, I have a lengthened tricep, fully lengthened tricep, and it feels damn good. And then a superset into, you guessed it, a fully lengthened bicep. position. What is that? It is a incline cable bicep curl. I've set the cables up so it hits 90 degrees when I'm in that kind of fully bicep lengthened position. I add a pause in that bottom bicep lengthened fully position as well, and I just keep my elbows back. So I've created that shoulder extension, that's created that lengthened bicep, because like I told you, it attaches to the scap, and I told you shoulder flexion was shortened, so shoulder extension will be lengthened range. So that's what we're doing here with the biceps. We've got that shoulder extension position, keeping it good, keeping it controlled, and that pauses at the bottom of the overhead position, at the bottom of the bicep position. And same thing, we've upped the ranges of the reps for these parts here, because these are the parts where they don't generate the most force, is the fully shortened and like the fully lengthened. The mid-range is where we generate like the highest and strongest amount of force, and that's why I would go for the heavier lower rep ranges. Nothing stupid, but then I'll go higher rep ranges for the shortened and lengthened. That's how I like to format my training. Especially for arms, I find with higher rep stuff as well, you get a good pump, it just feels damn good. So same again, look here, you can see my positioning. Arm is fully flexed, shoulder flexed position. You can see when I fully flex my elbow, that's a fully stretched tricep right there. I can't go any further overhead with my mobility in my shoulders, but this does the damn good job. People, you need to try this kind of stuff when you train. Manipulate positions with your body, manipulate some tempos in the appropriate places, and I'm telling you, you're gonna get some good results. Since I've implemented this kind of training over the past kind of year and a half, I'm telling you, I've just blown up. I've just blown up in the right places, because I'm just training smart. Once you've challenged the shortened, mid, and lengthened position of a muscle, it's done. It is done. You do not need to go back and do another bicep curl. You do need to go back and hit another tricep press. You don't need to go, for example, if I'm doing chest, you don't need to do incline chest press, flat chest press, decline chest press, flat chest press machine, because you're just hitting mid-range, 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 mid-range. What about the lengthened? What about the shortened? You need to be hitting muscles in all of ranges, especially the end ranges where we get missed. So once again, you can see how the cable is set up, and I'm just bending my elbow and allowing that cable to travel where it wants to. If that was a dumbbell, I can't do dumbbells at the same time because my elbows flare out because of the width of my lats and my shoulders. So cables allows me to move in the right plane, joint pain-free, because it's moving in the perfect alignment for myself and how I move. And I just get a damn good pump. You can see the veins popping there, you can see the control, the pause at the bottom, and that's what we need to do. So if you're struggling with your arm training, try this kind of setup. Supersets is a good little try, especially if you're trying to save some time. Go for supersets. Trial and error. Why not? I find that nothing gets taken away from each other. Nothing takes away from the other. And it's a great way to get a good pump. So I really enjoyed that. So that's kind of how I do my arm training. And like I said, all I need to do now is kind of finish up with the delts. And usually what I do is I would go into a finisher, and that's just a lying cuff lateral raise. One of my favorite movements for delts. 3 working sets here. Very easy, very good control. Cuff just above the wrist. Why cuffs? Because it can reduce joint forces as well, because we've just got it closer to the joint we're working at. It just shortens the moment arm. But also, it just lets me kind of give me that more connection, that mind muscle connection to the muscle, how it works. And I just set the cables up at the appropriate height for myself. I must say I do need to put like a pillow down here, or like some sort of pad, because my head is obviously the thickness of my back and my positioning of my joints and stuff. My head's just floating about there and it looks ridiculous. But I do need some more comfort. But once again, training to failure, training hard. It might be arms, it might be delts, but god damn it, train them hard. People think, oh, arm days are useless, they're boring, they're so easy. Why? Train harder, train with intensity, train smart, make those things suck. And then you just see a different angle here, same thing, just fully shortened delts, pausing the shortened and pausing the lengthened. You can't work a delt any further range as such, and just keep it controlled, and I just tag my delts on the very end of arms. They've not been impacted whatsoever by the tricep and bicep stuff, so I've got the strength there, they're still feeling fresh, and it's just a way for me to get more delt volume, because you can never have enough delts. You can never have too much lateral delt, so I tag it on at the end of my arm day as such. And then like I say, I fatigued the delt as much as I possibly can really through the cable, And then I just chuck in a dumbbell partial finisher just to completely milk out that length and range at the bottom. For me, it gets a good pump, it gets a good feeling. It's not going to knock on my next session because I do a rest day anyway, so I can go for an intensifier at the end of the session. So I go straight into this dumbbell lateral raise into partials, milk it out, 10 to 15 reps, burn, burn, burn. Feels damn good, people. Feels so good, and it just burns like hell, and I love that feeling. I love the pain, I love the pump, and I just feel like full as a house. And that is my arm and delt session. I'm going to send you back to the vlog, to the video, so enjoy, and I hope you enjoyed this voiceover as well. Peace and love, catch you later. Just currently making my intro workout just now. Easy stuff. Intro workout consists of 5 grams of creatine, would be 5 grams of glutamine, left at home. Well done, Joy. Maltodextrin, people slate maltodextrin. This digests great for me, I have no issues with it. It's so much cheaper than highly branched cyclodextrin. I advise this stuff myself from a money saving, money grabbing point of view. So we have 40 grams of that. Because it is a high day, because it's my push-pull day, it is a very demanding session. So I put that as a high food day. But not only is it a high demanding session, it's weak body parts I'm trying to develop, so I have a higher food day that day. And I basically would have my off-plan meal as well on this day into a rest day tomorrow. I'll make up this, as well, my apologies, EAAs. And I just have 15 grams of EAAs also in here. And then what I'll do is I will pour a sprinkling of, oh, I've just made a mess. Oh, don't you just hate that. Hate that. And then I will also add 10 ml of coconut water to that for electrolytes. And then lastly, I will add some, here is pink salt. Pink salt. So I add an 1/8 of a teaspoon. Accuracy is everything. Into that shake as well for more electrolytes, hydration, the pump, energy levels, you name it, we got it. And then that is that for the intro workout. And we're back, people. Session done. Push and pull, move things around, getting happy with the session. Still think there's a few tweaks to be made, but it's all good. Little trick for you, by the way. If you're doing lateral raises with a cuff, and you always find that these bits clang together or get in the way, hook the cuff on the end here. Right? Same with this side here. Hook it on here, not on the actual hook here. They won't clang together, they won't interlock, they won't get in the way, and you'll be completely fine, and you can just nail your sets each time. So a little trick for you, try it and enjoy it, and let's catch you in the next clip. Right guys, it's post-workout time, which means you're probably gonna ask me as well, like, oh Johnny, what's the macros, what's the calorie? Just base things. I don't do macros anymore. I used to do macros, I used to do it for fitness macros, but it's gonna be roughly about, must be about 140 grams of carbs. I would say roughly about 50 grams of protein, and probably about 3 to 4 grams of fat for this meal. That's just a rough assessment. So I'm gonna dig in with this. Gotta ask this one. Who likes soggy cereal? Nobody, correct. So surely we all do the same thing where add our cereal and dry, a little sprinkle, a tiny amount of my amount, and then I'll pour my mixer in. And then what I do is I'll finish that and slowly add to it, because then it's always going to be crispy. It'll never go soft. I got chocolate orange protein, by the way. Mixed with chocolate Cocoa Pops. It's unbelievable. I'm going to smash this and leave you sickles alone. Yo people, right, so we've got one more, like 50 minutes left before I head home from work. I don't know how that happened, but I've been looking at federations for competitions this season, this year. I've got a few in mind for the time frame. I'm looking around August, September sort of time frame. Here's me thinking I've got 4 months left of pushing. No. So I don't know how I made this kind of miscalculation, but this is my check-in sheet I do for myself. So this is my timeline here. So this is where we are currently, right? We're here, currently week 1 of 2023. So I currently have actually only until the week of the 13th of March will be my last pushing week. Then I'm gonna be taking a deload. So I'm about 108, 109 kilos. Your boy's got some work to do. So we're about to man the fuck up, and we're gonna get some shit done. So here's me questioning, oh, I might do this. No, we're doing this. Off-plan meal is 1000% happening today, and we're gonna be bumping up our food. I'm gonna do my check-in tomorrow morning. But shit, this shit just got real. Like, this shit got real fast. My birthday is end of February. So basically, it's going to come fast. I've got some work to do. We've got some work to do. Let's get it.
Just have this all reading. I can't watch.
Yeah, we can just watch some shit on the TV.
Yeah.
Macaroni pie, fish, chips, banging. We'll get back to the blade in a second. Right, if you want to be highly amused, sit back and watch this. Watch me attempt to do DIY. I'm laughing because I know what's going to happen. No, I'm confident I will do this. Right. I'll get this finished and I'll show you what's happening. We got it done. So what you're looking at here is the blackout blind. Basically, I'm gonna have my light here for check-ins, ring light. I'll pull the cord, and this will drop down, and then basically I'll have a plain backdrop so I can see my comparisons every single week from my photos. It might sound ridiculous, but this is in my office anyway, so it's my space, my thing for me, for my prep, so my photos can always be good for comparisons. So really buzzing with that. I'm quite happy. I successfully only had to change it once. Get in. Right, time to go chill out with the missus and watch a movie, and I might catch you before bed to sign this video off. Catch you later. And we're done for the night. Yeah, it wasn't really much to film, to be honest with you. It was actually a very chilled night watching a movie called The Menu. Absolutely shit. Don't watch it. Awful. Christy, you're not allowed to choose anything ever again. So we're off to bed now. Tomorrow back to work again. Rest day from the gym, so very chilled. But what I'm going to do, actually, change my mind. At the very end of the video, shut it all off to finish the vlog off. I'm going to show you tomorrow's check-in with the new blind that's set up, just to show you how it works. And anyway, peace, good night, catch you for tomorrow's check-in, and that'll be that. Good morning, my people. It is the next day. Like I said, I'm going to overlay my images on my check-in photos. That is where I stand currently. Woke up 109 kilos bang on the dot this morning. I'm going to make a food increase. I'll update you on the next video about that kind of thing. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. As always, follow on with the content. Let's get after it, people. Have a good day. And we'll see you all in the next one.